After rewatching Iron Man 3, this movie might be even more controversial than Iron Man 2. Yet, Libby and I loved it.
Iron Man 3 has officially moved into my number two spot.
I didn't like his suits very much in Iron Man 3. People also didn't like how little suit time Tony got.
I
Why?
actually think that is so it's cinematically unintelligent. Tony Stark and Iron Man are the same person, and he
Mhm.
is just as brilliant without the suit.
Mandarin guy.
I thought it was like a surprise. It was interesting.
Yeah.
It added a lot of humor to this movie.
I'm your host, Aaron Haig, and with me is.
Your other host, Libby Collins.
And welcome back to Forget the Critics, the podcast where I turn my girlfriend into a nerd. We are on Marvel, and it is time for Phase 2. We finished Phase 1 last week, and the first movie now is Iron Man 3. Libby, you love Iron Man. It is, I think, your favorite character. Let the
hmm
people know what you think about Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 is so, so, so good. Like, honestly, guys, of all the Marvel movies I've seen, Iron Man's original movie will always be my number one, but Iron Man 3 has officially moved into my number two spot.
Really? Like all time
Yes,
so far?
yes.
That's crazy. You
This
know,
movie is amazing.
one thing I do have to say about this movie right off the rip, it just entered my mind, is I didn't like his suits very much in Iron Man 3.
You didn't
They
like his
weren't,
suits?
no, they weren't as cool. Like Iron Man 1 is just iconic. Iron Man 2 is awesome because that's when he gets the new like triangle. But Iron Man 3
Yeah.
didn't really have any cool suits. I mean, most of the suits he was wearing were just beat up.
Aaron, that's a crazy take. His suit was able to fly to his body when he needed it. That's so cool.
That okay, yes, that is cool, but visually it didn't look very cool. Most of the time you see
Oh,
the
well,
suit, it's beat
well,
up.
well, oh, it's just a prototype. It's just a prototype, okay?
Mark 42 is just a prototype. Yeah.
He
Okay.
was working
Let's
on
talk
it.
about the intro. That intro was confusing. I had forgotten about that.
Wait, yeah, it took me a long time to realize that Aldrich Killian was the nerd who Tony Stark left on the roof of that building.
I remembered that, but that is the same guy, which is crazy. The
Yeah,
intro
that's
was
like
weird
so weird.
because you
It's
thought
weird
he
too
was
because
so
I didn't,
proud.
yeah, okay, because I didn't realize it's kind of confusing when you're watching all these movies to like think about how they're all kind of in like different time frames, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and so that opening scene, I believe, was like New Year's Eve from 1999 to 2000. But
Mhm.
then, so he was like with this random girl, and I didn't realize that at that point he wasn't in his serious relationship yet with Pepper Potts. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's still doing this whole like hookup thing. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I think like, didn't they say it was like 2013 then later on in the movie?
Something like that.
Or
I don't even
or they
I
said like 10 years had passed or something.
probably. That was weird to me because I hadn't seen Iron Man. I don't even know the last time I watched Iron Man 3 and I didn't remember that at all. And so when you had said, "Wait, did they break up?" I also was like, I don't remember them breaking up. So that
Mm,
was confusing. But I did like how in the intro it was Tony Stark narrating everything. I mean, even at the end it's like full circle and he's narrating it. That was interesting.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so the main thing that I want to talk about with Iron Man 3, I want to bring up some negatives people have to say about Iron Man 3 and then I want us to sit here and debate it because one, people didn't like how the villain was the Mandarin guy, but then it turns out that he was just a lazy jokester and an actor and
Mm-hmm.
the Adrian Killer or whatever his name was, that's the real villain. And then people also didn't like how little suit time Tony got. And that's my main argument.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hate how little Tony was in the suit?
No, I
Why?
actually think that is so it's cinematically. unintelligent to think that without his suit, it doesn't make a good movie. Him not be like him not having a lot of suit time in this movie just goes to show you more that Tony Stark and Iron Man are the same person and he
Mhm.
is just as brilliant without the suit.
Yeah.
Like that suit doesn't make him Iron Man. He is already Iron Man.
I'm so glad you said that. That's like one of the greatest takes you've ever said on this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanna read you a quote Iron Man says in a later movie. He says, if you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. And this entire movie
Exactly. That's
proves that he doesn't need the suit to be Iron Man.
yes. I 1000% agree. Like we've already had two whole movies to show us like how amazing this suit is, right? The suit can take a lot of damage. The suit can fly us everywhere. It can take down crazy bad guys and it can do a lot, but the man inside the suit can do just as much. And like
Yeah.
his sheer brain power and intelligence is like it's like the highlight of the movie, you know? Like they just wanted to I don't know, like Tony Stark and Iron Man are the same person, and they made him feel more like human in this movie, I feel like. Just like the
Yeah.
scenes where he met that young boy Harley and like the way that they interacted, I was like, wow, like this is making him look like a real person and not just some like out of touch superhero, you know?
Hmm. And his anxiety attacks and like possible PTSD
Hmm.
from the Avengers movie, because that's what was really messing him up was the New York incident.
Yeah. That's so, yes. Thank you for bringing that up because that's like so cool. Like to watch, I don't know, there are probably people who watch Iron Man 3 and are like, oh my gosh, like a superhero has PTSD or a superhero has anxiety attacks. Like that means I'm allowed to feel anxious and it's okay.
He's like one of the realest superheroes ever. Like
He really is.
you can relate to him in most aspects.
Hmm.
It's pretty awesome. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
I absolutely love how he isn't in the suit this entire movie because
I
it
think
just
it adds
proves
so much.
it does, and it adds so much to his character. I mean, rewatching Marvel is the best thing I've ever done because I have more appreciation for Tony, and
Hmm.
I want to bring up a bunch of scenes that proves that he doesn't need the suit. When they're in that little town and he's doing all that investigating, he doesn't need Jarvis. He doesn't need any of his cool gadgets. He's walking around and he's just using his brain. And then
Hmm.
he even fights one of those that girl at the bar when he got handcuffed. He was in handcuffs and was fighting her off, and then just
Yeah.
doesn't need the suit, doesn't need Jarvis to realize, oh, there's gasoline here. Let me put this metal in a microwave and let me blow this thing up with her in it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It shows he's like brilliant. Like he actually is so smart.
Yes, he he is like one of the smartest Marvel characters when it comes to fighting. I mean, he just analyzes everything. It's awesome. And then
Hmm.
another scene is when he's in that tree and he's staking out that entire house with just with binoculars. He doesn't need Jarvis to like tell him how many enemies are there. He's literally just in a tree, just looking around, staking out the place, and then he goes in and he fights them off with a nail gun, like some shoestrings, whatever that was. And he
Hmm.
just went to like a Home Depot and built all that because he's smart and he doesn't need Iron Man. I just like
Yeah.
I don't know how else
Yeah.
to like tell people this. Like that's what's great about this movie.
Yeah. This movie is all about Tony proving his worth, like without the suit.
Exactly.
Sorry, I was gonna say, so what was the other thing you said people online don't like about this movie?
They don't like that the the Mandarin guy was was not actually a villain because I guess in the comics he's like known to be a really powerful villain, and in Iron Man 3 he's a joke. He's an actor. He's not actually the villain, and it's that Adrian Killich guy or whatever.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
I actually liked that. I thought it was like a surprise. It was interesting.
Yeah,
It added a lot of humor to this movie, which I feel like this
exactly.
movie, the Iron Man movies always have that like perfect, dry, super sarcastic humor. But I think this one had like arguably better humor than maybe the first two. And like
Really?
this this guy being like a street actor or whatever they called him. I thought that was really funny. I'm like, look at the like manipulation and everything. He goes online, hacks the television in America, and acts like he's some crazy psychotic killer. And then they
Mhm.
finally meet him, and he's like, "Oh, don't go in the bathroom for 20 minutes, guys. It stinks." And they're like, "Isn't that so funny?"
I agree, but I don't think I I agree that this adds a humor aspect to the movie, and that's why I don't really care that people hate that aspect. But I think you're completely wrong. This was the weakest out of the three when it comes to humor. I think Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2 are so much funnier than this one. This one wasn't as funny. Like I only caught myself laughing like a couple times.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought
but
this was a super funny movie.
it still felt like classic Iron Man humor. It was still like there were still
Yeah.
funny parts. It wasn't as funny as Iron Man 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think a different type of humor, a little bit. Like, I feel like he didn't make as many sexual jokes.
Hmm, maybe.
I thought it was really funny when he was talking to the little kid Harley,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Where are your parents?" And he said something, I don't remember where he said his mom was, but he was like, "My dad went to the 7-Eleven to get a scratch off, and it must have been a good one because that was 6 years ago." And then Tony Stark was like, "All right, well, don't be a pussy about it." And then just like
That was funny.
proceeded
Yeah.
on. Like I
Yeah.
liked how he was just like he kept giving that kid shit and it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And then the kid was also giving it back. And it was
Hmm.
he's so young, but at the same time he could take so much. And I think that's
Yeah.
what was funny about it was this little kid is not stepping down from Tony. And Tony's not used to that.
Uh-huh.
He's having like these panic attacks and he doesn't know what to do. And so it was just a funny
They
combination.
had yeah, they had a good dynamic.
Yeah, for sure. But to go more on the fact that Tony doesn't need his suit, I'm gonna keep pounding this so hard, was how he controls the one suit to save all of those people and he kills that one guy on the airplane. He's not even in the suit and he
Hmm.
does all of that.
That's so cool. Yeah, you're right. Like at the end of that scene, so like he was like, Jarvis, how many people can the suit hold? And Jarvis was like, four, and there's 13 people falling. And he's like, he catches one girl and he's like, all right, Heather, grab this guy's hand. And everyone starts like holding hands. They're like connected. He
Yep.
saves all of them. They land gracefully in the water. And then the scene switches to him still on that boat with Rhodes. And Rhodes opens the door and Tony's just like in this little room by himself. And he's like, ah, we did it.
That was
Like,
so
yeah,
awesome.
you're right. That's so cool. He can do all this stuff. Like, I don't know. It's like virtual reality. That's what it made me think of.
We should have expected that was going to happen because we see in the beginning of the movie when he does that to Pepper, she's like, she's
Hmm.
like, oh, why didn't you get out of the suit? And he's like, oh, he's like, he's like, malfunctioning, won't really open. And then she's like,
Hmm.
oh, well, why don't I go downstairs and find a crowbar and pry you out of that thing? And then he's like, yeah, probably not. There's like a radiation leak downstairs. And then she goes, and he was just sitting there doing pull ups. That was a
Hmm.
little weird by him.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, but that was wrong of him.
Yeah.
He does open up more during this movie, though.
Yeah. I like that. I feel like that's kind of like the common theme with him is like he's like a tough nut to crack.
Hmm.
A tough nut to bust.
Pause.
No, but like he has these kind of like internal conflicts and he
Yeah.
doesn't always like to address them and definitely doesn't like to address them with other people. You know, like for example, when he was dying in movie two and he didn't really want to tell anyone and people, I don't know, it just like people really have to like work at it to get through to him. But he always does end up opening up. And I feel like
Yeah,
he always does end up making everything okay, you know, like whatever he screws up, he fixes. So,
he sure does. Like with Pepper, he ends up fixing that in the end.
mm-hmm,
Blows up all of his suits.
mm-hmm.
So that's nice. Where are they gonna live now? Their house is destroyed.
Well, they'll just build a new one. I'm sure it's in the budget somewhere.
Yeah, probably. I think they live in the Avengers Tower now. I don't remember. The villain in this movie. What are your thoughts on Adrian Killich or whatever his stupid name is?
Aldridge Killian.
Aldrich Killian. See, that's how much I don't care about his name. But what I mean, we've
My
seen Whiplash and we've seen that first villain. What do you think about this guy now?
I liked him better than Whiplash. I feel like
Definitely.
um I don't know if he necessarily had a super strong motive. Like I feel like when people talk about how he got this idea to like help like weird people or like people missing limbs and whatever to help them like regenerate by injecting them with that extremis, is that what that was called?
Yeah.
I feel like that was just him being like a weird guy with a weird interest. But I'm like, why did he specifically want to target like the United States? Like, why did he need to make it into such a big thing? Maybe I'm just like not remembering his reasoning.
I guess I don't know either, but I mean the United States is like the best country. So
So did he just want like world dominance? Is that what he was looking for?
yeah. And he had an in with the the vice president. So that was his inside
Oh,
guy.
you're right. You're right.
I think this is the best villain out of all of the Iron Mans.
Yeah.
Like I personally liked this villain the most, and then I also hated him the most, like in the movie, if that
He was
makes
the
sense.
most hateable because he was like good at what he did.
Good at yeah. I mean, you even were like, "Oh, this guy's pissing me off," and then also I just
Yeah.
hated the way he treated Pepper. Like he was talking
Yeah.
sexually about her, and it was just so awkward. And I was like, "Nah, this guy needs to die."
Yeah, that was not cool. Do not play about Pepper.
Mm-mm.
Not around me. I I love Pepper. And yeah, the fact that he was trying to like okay, I could tell he was sus right away when he had that meeting with her and he was
Yeah,
showing like the implant he had in the back of his like ear or whatever. And he's like, look at all these things it makes. I was like, this guy has the shadiest intentions, and his little sidekick sitting out in the lobby with Happy. Yeah, Happy was right to be sussed out about that guy too.
definitely. What do you feel about Rhodey this movie? Because last movie, you and I both talks about how we didn't really like the way Rhodey treated Iron Man or Tony, and then they made up real quick. In this movie, they're
Mm-hmm.
back being a duo sidekick again. So
Mm-hmm.
I like his new.
I liked them together in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't hate Rhodey. I thought he was awesome. The suit
I
is
thought he was awesome too.
better. The Iron
You know what I
Patriot.
thought was stupid though? Did you like that it turned into the Iron Patriot?
The name, I don't think the Iron Patriot is cool. I think War Machine is better. The suit itself looks cooler than the other one.
It's just like too similar to Captain America though.
I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
I'm like,
But
why
better.
wasn't this just a movie between Iron Man and why didn't you just pull Captain America into it if you needed to make this patriotic superhero with armor? Like
I don't know.
why couldn't you just have Captain America?
I also thought about that because I was like, oh, so you're just trying to be like Captain America. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was like, oh, maybe this is when Captain America is dead. But I was like, no. Like, think about this logically. This came after
Hmm.
the Avengers, so he's not dead. That's a
Yeah.
little sus by Rhodey, but whatever. Remember when he told him his
Yeah.
password? War Machine is awesome, or whatever, like that. All
Oh, it was
cap.
like War Machine rocks with an X.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that was funny.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What do you think about RDJ, Robert Downey Jr.? I think he's got to be like my top favorite Marvel actor. I mean, he's awesome. I think the reason
Hmm.
why we like Tony Stark and Iron Man so much is just because Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor.
Hmm.
I mean, the way he's
I
able to
this
do all that is crazy.
It's actually ironic that you're asking me that because I was just seeing videos of him earlier talking about some like um conference or something he went to, and he was like absolutely disgusted by how money hungry everyone was in there. And the way he was talking, I was like, wait, you are actually the perfect person to play Tony Stark because Tony Stark is literally Robert Downey Jr.
Yes,
Like they're the same person.
they are the same exact person. It's crazy. I'm like, even watching him in interviews with the other cast members, I mean, just
Hmm.
the remarks he makes and the way he talks. I was just like,
Yes.
you're
He's
Tony
so
Stark.
witty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's so quick with his comebacks and everything. Yes, no one
It's
else could
crazy.
have played Tony Stark.
And now what's even more interesting is you have seen all the Iron Man movies. You know Robert Downey Jr. very well, and the movie that we're preparing for is Avengers Doomsday. He is returning as the villain in that movie.
Yeah. I wonder how that's gonna be. I mean,
And that's
obviously
going to
I
be
have a lot
very
of catch
interesting.
up to do still.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. We have like 30 more movies. But what's interesting
Hmm.
is so Libby already knows that Iron Man dies, unfortunately. That would have been if you didn't know that, oh, that would have been awesome. But
Yeah.
you already know he dies. He's he's acting as Doom in the new movie. So the main thing that all of us Marvel fans are kind of worried about is how are they supposed to portray that because um they know what Iron Man looks like under the mask. So if they see
Yeah.
Doom under the mask and it looks like Tony Stark, do they explain that? Like people are trying to predict that Doom is in an alternate universe. Instead of Tony Stark becoming Iron Man, he becomes Doom. I don't know. There's just a ton of other theories, but they've got to explain somehow that RDJ is now this guy and like explain how it,
Yeah.
because otherwise it's going to be confusing.
I mean, I'm sure whatever they do though, it's probably gonna be like very well executed, just like based off what I've seen from Marvel, they do a great job.
We
I
hope,
don't
yeah.
know, maybe they'll be able to make Tony Stark look super different so people don't. Well, is it gonna be Tony Stark though, or is it just Robert Downey Jr.?
It's going to be
You
Robert
know,
Downey
like
Jr.
so maybe he just looks completely different and is like unrecognizable.
But think about this, Livy. Marvel wouldn't cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doom because, I mean, he's already played a character in the Marvel universe. Why would he be casted again as now a villain? There has to be a reason. Marvel has to have a reason for doing that. So there's got
They'll
to
have
be,
a story.
yeah, that's what, like, there's
They'll,
got to be a story. There's got to be a reason. They're not just going to, like, put makeup on him and be like, nah, he's just a different character. There's no way. And if they
they
do
could.
that, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, well, good thing they didn't ask you.
They should.
No, I think you're right. I think a lot of other people would be upset about that too. But don't worry, everyone. Marvel's got it all planned out. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. It will be great. Okay. Do you have anything else to say about Iron Man? Just anything about Iron Man in general now?
I wish there was a fourth Iron Man movie.
I
When
have that written down
when I
too.
watched when I watched this movie, Aaron did not inform me that this is the last Iron Man movie, so I was unprepared. And then at the end of the movie, I found out it's the last one, and I feel like I wish I could have watched it for the first time again, realizing it was the last one, and I could have like soaked it in more. You guys, Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 are just a superior sequence. They deserve all the love,
They are
and I
amazing.
miss them. I miss them now that I'm done watching them.
But at least you still get to see Iron Man.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we get to see him. You get to see him in a lot of more movies coming up, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah, thank God.
Actually, one of the movies coming up in phase 2, he's like a big, big deal in it. So that'll be fun to watch.
Well, I'm excited.
And if we haven't already said it, Libby and I both agree that Iron Man 3 is so much better than Iron Man 2. It like
Hmm.
laps it, runs circles around it.
Way, way better.
Way better, yeah. Um, but yeah, that is going to be the end of our Iron Man journey.
Hmm.
Sucks. I mean, he has some great movies. But yeah, moving forward, our next phase 2 movie is going to be Thor: The Dark World, and then I think we get to watch. Oh, and then it's Captain America: Winter Soldier. So those will be next week. So make sure to lock in for those because those will be fun to watch. But
Hmm.
that's gonna be it for
I'm
Iron Man
excited.
3. I'm excited too. Comment down below what you think. I believe that everything we just said might be very controversial. I hope it is. If you agree, please let us know. If you want to see us review any other movies, if you want Libby to watch one of your favorite superhero movies, drop that down in the comments. We'll do it. I think this is super fun. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like so you can see more of our content. Thank you guys for watching, and
We'll see you guys next time.